are Jane and Stephanie from Tip Studies, here in Rossmore Community Centre collecting stories from locals for Heritage Week 2025. Stephanie here with Timmy Ryan and his gun. Will we start so?
Right, Jimmy.
Right. Timmy Ryan, how are you?
I'm hanging in there, as the fella says.
So we're here today, Timmy. We're just doing some recording of the people of Rossmore and the surrounding areas, just to get your stories. You have a great story about an ancestor of yours.
Yes, an uncle of mine.
An uncle of yours.
Had to be out in the troubled times with Dan Breen and Sean Tracy, and I'm only hearing all the hearsay talk. Was involved in a shooting and had to go on the run at 21 years of age and died of pneumonia. And they said in Cashel at the time, when he was being brought to Kilvalure in Drumbain to be buried, that's the biggest funeral that ever left Cashel. Now,
he was from Rossmore, was he?
He was, and his father was the school teacher in Torraheen, Rossmore, and again, the house where they lived, that was burned by the Black and Tans. The set was burned twice. I don't know, but
would have been the school teacher's house?
Well, they lived there beside it, I think.
Yeah.
Again, as I said, I'm not living up around this area, and but back then, and that's a good few years ago now, but.
And your dad never told the story, did he?
There wasn't any mention of it.
So how do you know now? How do you know his story? You have his gun as well.
Well, I was given that by a first cousin. That was given by a first cousin of mine, and it was his aunt, it was his mother, which would have been an aunt of mine. It was they had the gun, so I was the last of the Ryans, so I got the gun. So other than that, and it seems to be very popular here today. There's a devil lot looking at it anyway.
So tell us about Sean Ryan then. How he became involved, the cause.
Well, I suppose the breeding was probably there, and I mean, he was involved, I said, when he was young. After the shooting, he had to, it was all on the hue and cry, Dan Breen and himself. But, he died of pneumonia on the run, so he must have got it must have been hard at the time.
Yeah.
Because
he was a young man.
He was, yeah. It was 21 when he was buried.
Yeah.
And he's buried in Kilvalure in Drumbain with my grandfather.
Okay.
Now I have another uncle then buried here above in Rossmore. That's now, I suppose, how I'm really here today.
Yeah. And you've got some information there. Can you tell us about what you have in? He's known as the painter, was he? Sean the painter? No?
So what were the kind of circumstances around the shooting that,
To be honest, I don't really know, because I wasn't kind of into that. It was only in latter years when someone asked me to know how the Ryans were kind of involved in it. And that's really how, in the last couple of years, I suppose, I have a bit of time. And I was able to come up here, well, not here in Drumbain. We were notified by somebody coming, as they'd call it.
So was he known then as Jack the Master?
He was Jack the Master, Jack the Master,
okay.
yeah.
Why do you think he had that name?
Well, to distinguish all the Ryans.
Yeah.
There's so many Ryans around. I mean, it was amazing there now. A minute ago, I met a Timmy Ryan again outside.
There's a lot of you around. So he was involved with Dan Breen and all those other guys.
Yeah.
What do you think it was like for him then, being on the run after whatever the incident was that caused him to go on the run?
The hue and cry, the Black and Tans really went after him at that stage. So, he was definitely, how he kept going, I suppose, too, was another thing. I mean, there was probably a lot of safe houses, again, as we said, but, and not really kind of fully, you're only hearing stories.
Yeah, so
or tidbits.
He couldn't go home then?
No. So the house was burned anyway.
So what do you think then happened afterwards? with the school, and did they have to rebuild a house for him, or?
Don't know. I was born in Clonmel, and
Yeah.
as I said, there was never a mention of anything like that.
Isn't that gas?
Yeah,
Yeah.
never.
And nobody thought to ask either, sure they didn't.
I suppose there was, there's one or two people would have come down to our house, but into the front room and shut door, and they probably were tracing things that went on, but...
Yeah, because you can imagine that most people in the area would have known what happened.
Yeah.
But that everybody just kept quiet.
Kept quiet, and I'd say, like, the burning of the house and the whole lot. I mean, my father was secretary of the county council. They said he was the youngest secretary in Ireland, appointed at the time. Now, he retired at, I think it was 1948. I'd say the whole thing of everything with the house and everything got to him, I'd say, to be honest now. Like, we never heard the thing, though, to be honest, never. I mean, I used to go to holidays, my holidays in Thurles, and there was a few carriages, there wasn't that much driving or people with cars at the time. Like, we didn't come up to Rossmore, even though Rossmore wasn't that far away. But there was a bus coming from Thurles to Clonmel, and that's it. So we hadn't cars at the time, we weren't able to afford a car, as the fella says.
It's an amazing thing to have in your family.
Yeah.
Like that who's, okay, you don't know an awful lot.
No, that's correct,
But it's still, it's an incredible story to have in your family.
It is, yeah, it is.
And still have his...
Well, it is nice to have it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, and you're asked outside, and who are you? You're Ryan, but what? As the fella says, what's the tag? Huh?
This is incredible, this gun. Do you know what kind of a gun it is?
Peter the Painter.
Really?
Yeah. I met a historian there, O'Reilly is his name, I can't think of his first name. But I met him at some function, and someone asked me to know where to bring the gun. The man nearly went haywire. He said, I can die happy now, he said, I'm after seeing the gun, Peter the Painter.
Okay.
No.
It's very heavy, isn't it?
Yeah, there is weight in it, yeah, correct, yeah.
You do a bit of damage, alright. But thank you, Timmy.
For nothing at all, nothing. And I'm sorry you're not able to fill you in more.
No, that's exactly what we want. Those little stories like that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That brings our conversation to a close. To everyone listening, thank you for joining us and helping us keep these stories alive through your interest and support. A huge thank you from us to the Rossmore community, whose generosity in sharing their time and knowledge made this possible. Your willingness to share your memories enriches us all. We are also deeply grateful to the Tipperary County Council Heritage Office for funding this project. Again, thank you for listening, and until next time, Slán a Gaibh go léir.